Hello, hello, hello. It's good to be here. I am jumping on here tonight because I want to talk about how do you love yourself even when you're fucking aggravated with yourself. And one of the reasons I'm doing this now is because I am fucking aggravated with myself. And my focus this month in July has been loving myself, loving in general. How can I show up on a daily basis in love? How can I show up in love in my business, in my relationships, as far as my personal life, with my clients, with those that I think like them or they think like me, and with those people who I don't know how they think because I just don't get it. There's so much that's going on, and I feel like there's all this energy and it's this or that, when, of course, I know there's a whole lot of other possibilities and opportunities available, and that there's so much, well, anger and aggravation and frustration and lack and scarcity and fear and poor health, and poverty. I mean, there's just so much that's going on. And you add in the racism and the, well, there's so much. And I don't want to just pile this on of everything that's going on this year, even though I feel like it's been 7 years and 7 months worth of stuff. What I really want to talk about is how do we love ourselves, even when we're, well, fucking aggravated with ourselves. What does that look like, and what's available to us? Now, for anybody who's watching this, whether you're watching it live or as a replay, feel free to share your comments, share your thoughts, ask your questions. Now, I can tell you, as someone who is kind of like sitting in the energy, and you can see it in my face, I'm like, of being aggravated with myself. I had this afternoon plan. There were things that I wanted to accomplish. I felt like I was intentional and focused. This was after taking a nice break. I had a wonderful lunch with my wife. We went out and just had a really great conversation about football, other things too, but it was just like a fun, enjoyable conversation. And then I come back and I'm like, all right, now I'm getting to work, and I came up here into my office and I'm all set, and it's like doubt, uncertainty. Is this really what you want to be doing? Isn't that a lot of work? Is this what you're called to? I mean, the questions and the stuff just started like coming on, and like, and I could feel it all, and my gut is like, ugh. And yeah, so there's all this going on inside of me, which just frankly pisses me off. Because I have been taking steps to create a project and a program that I've been really excited about. And yet, as I continue to move through it, I'm kind of going, like, really? Is this what I'm, again, the questions and stuff are starting. And so then, this is where, if you've heard me speak before, I talk about my shitstorm, because then my mind gets going. So what can we do to be nice to ourselves, to love ourselves, even if right now, I mean, part of me, frankly, I'm like, what the fuck, Jen? Like, get your shit together. If you worked for somebody else, like, this shit wouldn't be tolerated. And yet, on the other side of that, I have this conversation that says, well, you don't work for other people for a reason. Because you don't want to be stuck doing something just because somebody tells you to do it. You want to do things because they align with me, they motivate me, they inspire me, they Well, one of the things I'm doing right now is sharing the love. Like, I want to share love. I want to share healing. I want people to be able to experience all of this in their life. So what am I doing? Now, of course, one of the things that comes to mind, like, do you get where I'm coming from? Have you run into this? Have you run into where you think you've got things all together and then you can't seem to get out of your way and the shit starts coming up and you're like, ah! And where does that lead you? Now, of course, if I were to allow this to keep going, it's going to lead into like what I call my shitstorm, where I get pulled in and I can stay in that energy for hours where I'm just freaking aggravated with myself and get nothing accomplished and I don't feel good about me. Or I can recognize what's going on, which I am right now. I recognize I'm aggravated with myself, and in being aggravated with myself, I'm not being nice to myself if I listen to all the thoughts that are going on in my head. So, the first thing I can do, or one of the things that I can do, is one, I can get on and do this live, because if I'm talking about this, if I'm sharing this with others, and this helps anybody else, one, by thinking like, oh, you know what? I'm not alone in this. And that's one of the reasons why I'm asking. Do you feel like this sometimes? Because I know I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not the only person in the world who feels like this right now. But two, I want others to be reminded they're not alone in this. And then I can start to identify what can I be doing. Now, I was getting ready to go downstairs, and I will once I'm done this live. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to get out my drawing pad. And because I seem to be all up in here, and I've got things that I've been writing, I've got notes in my journal, I've got calendars, I've got like maps that I've been drawing out, like all these things. They're not currently helping me. So I've got to do something else. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to get out my drawing pad and I'm going to allow this energy to move. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. I could go outside. I could scream and yell and just let it move through. Sometimes I dance. Sometimes I'll go hit pillows. Sometimes I'll journal. But for some reason, I feel like I've got to draw it out. I've got to let it out that way. So I'm going to go do that when I'm done here. So what I want to know, what do you do when you're aggravated with yourself? And you want to be nice. You want to be loving. You want to be supportive of you, like we typically are with our friends and our family members. You know, we have other people that will sometimes come to us and they're aggravated and they're frustrated, and we listen I can't talk because I'm so we listen attentively, and we're supportive. We let people know it's okay. Sometimes we may offer what's worked for us. We often remind people to give themselves a break. These are all things that you can do to love yourself when you're aggravated. But I'd love to know, what do you do? What do you do when you get aggravated with yourself? To still be loving. Because just because I might not like myself that much right at the moment, or be aggravated with myself at the moment, doesn't mean I don't love myself or I'm not lovable. I want to be sure that I'm showing up like that for me. Let me know what you think. And if you're looking for some support or some help with loving yourself when you're aggravated, because the good news is, in the past, my shitstorm might have lasted days or even on a low level, weeks or more. And now, this shitstorm, this me being aggravated or not so nice to myself, now often lasts minutes, maybe an hour or two. And I'm happy with that progress. So if you're looking to gain progress and could use some support with that, send me a message and let me know what you think. All right, everyone, I'm going to go take care of me, love me, by allowing this aggravation and even just saying all of this stuff, even having this conversation with y'all, I can feel that the energy has already started to move through because I'm recognizing this is a moment. It is passing, like literally, as I'm speaking to you. All right, everyone, I'm sending you lots of love. And of course, all things fucking fantastic till we connect again. Bye, y'all.